All right, guys, we're back with round one, Edison Format, Epic Cards and Games. We got Los on the left playing Ultimate Offering Zombies and Francisco on the right playing Quickdraw Plant Frog Monarch. So Los attacks with Sangan, and he's choosing not to pop. He mills Brain Control, Quickdraw, and Hamster. So I've told people before in the past that I don't like setting Raikou turn one. Even though I did it once on camera, but it's just not the strongest play. If he had another option, maybe he should have done something else, but I don't know his hand. Because, like, people just, they hit you with Sangan, they hit you with Stratos, or they summon Bayou, and even in some cases, or Shura. But Shura's, like, not bad. Anyway, Los attacks again with Sangan. Francisco drops the Battle Fader, so Los probably knows that he really needs that Battle Fader. To drop it this early, yeah, and then Francisco takes 1,000. Los searches Plague. Shout out to Francisco. First time on the channel. I haven't seen him in a long time, but glad to have him playing some Edison. We'll see how he does. I don't know how familiar he is with the format. I remember the only time I saw him was like when we first started Edison at my locals, which was more than a year ago. So here Francisco sets another monster. So this is interesting because Los probably thinks he's playing Quick Draw, but it's kind of like a hybrid deck. So I think that's why he goes for Stardust here. But I think he goes for Stardust no matter what. Like, there's no reason to go for Dark End, even if it is Frogs. All right, so Kai's comes down that we knew probably Francisco had from when he dropped the Battle Fader. Okay, so 56, 7,000. I wonder what Los's back rows are. I don't think he had anything to stop heavy because he didn't set the second back row until he summoned the Stardust. So I don't think those are solemn. I don't know if he plays Starlight Road. Maybe he does. Okay, so now we have Goyo Kai. So he didn't set anymore. Let's see what Francisco can do. Is it Ryza or Caius? A second Caius. Yeah, and Los has got nothing. Nothing to stop those attacks or the summons. Maybe he doesn't have to. Okay, yeah, Gale just outs every Monarch. So he attacks him for 100. Okay, now he sets 2. So now I know he either has a Solemn or Starlight Road. We'll find out which one it is. It's either the one closest to the deck or the one behind the Gale. I'm still waiting for the day when someone gets hit for like with 3 or 4 back rows by heavy, but it's never happened. 2 has happened often, but not 3 or 4. Okay, so anyway, Francisco rises the Gale, which this is a bad spot for Francisco because Los is just going to out the Ryza next turn. And he sets 1, and Los has no MST to MST that back row. I think he definitely would against Frogs. So, yeah, I have no idea. This is a scenario where the only read I have on Los's back rows are Stalem / Starlight Road. It could outside of that, it could be any. It could be Torrential. It could be Bottomless. So here, see, Francisco has to Torrential the Gale. This is like, does he have no answer to the Gale? He might not have an answer to the Gale, so he has to Torrential there. So Los looks like he's in a good spot. He's got 4 back rows, 1 card in hand. Francisco's got a bunch of cards in hand, but he had to Torrential. Maybe he had to Torrential the Gale so that he could bring back his Treeborns, another thing. But if you had an answer to the Gale, why even set the Torrential in the first place? So that tells me he probably didn't have an out to it. But now Francisco with this quick draw Frog Monarch deck. I could see why it works. I think if I were to play this deck, I would probably max out on the discard, the Phoenix Windwing Blast and Regeki Break. I think that's how this deck wins. When I've seen a few people play it online, or my friend Steven Bronder, he's been on the channel a bunch lately. He also has tried this deck in the past. Okay, so swap. Is there ever a point where Los would play Torrential or Mirror Force? Or would he just hold them? So here he pokes him for 22. And yeah, so this is the play where they bounce back the Treeborn and like set Wing Blast or Regeki Break. But that's how this deck operates. But I haven't seen any discard traps from Francisco. And Francisco mills up free Dandelion off charge. So now he's got a wall that Los has to deal with. 65, 22, 2 tokens. Oh, he's got quick draw too. Man, he's being ultra aggressive. So, yeah, this is another one of the strong plays of this deck. Bounce back the Treeborn with Swap Frog, summon Druid Warrior. Does Los have an answer to stop this? I think Los has to get rid of this quick draw or he's in trouble. Oh, yeah, he just pitched Dandy. So he chains Compulse. 2 tokens. I like Compulse in the main deck. I think most decks can get away with running 1. 2 can be too much in certain decks. I think it depends what deck you're playing on how many, if you can play 2 Compulse. I know one of my friends from my locals is Javier/Mario. He would like Compulse his Caius back in his Machina deck. I think we're gonna have that tournament up soon. Okay, so Los passes, so his hand is not very good. Francisco, you got to go in, man. No. I don't know what else is in his hand. I guess he could like set the Raikou that we know he has. Yeah. So Los is at 12 to Francisco's 65, and he's got a wall of monsters. I don't see how Los can get out of this unless... Oh, mind control. I think unless if one of Los's back rows could be returned. That's why he hasn't used it. Okay, so we know it's not Solemn. Now that Solemn is gone, we know Los's main deck in Starlight Road. Did he move his back rows? I don't know if he did. I'm going to say he didn't. So that means the one behind the Raikou or closest to the deck is Starlight Road. Just in case you have to MST him or something. Those are things you have to remember, man. But sometimes people move. That's why you can't move your spell and trap zones. But sometimes people do it. That's why I try to play on a mat with zones. Because when you play like on a spell ground, there's no zone. So sometimes people like they'll move around their spells and traps. All right, so what's Los thinking? He's checking. Is he looking at his extra deck? So what do you do here? Do you attack the tokens and then synchro? Oh, I think I know what's going on. I think he does have return. So that's why he's trying to synchro first so that his play gets banished and then he's going to flip return. Now let's see which one of the spells and traps is return. But obviously you're playing against Frogs, so maybe he's scared of Battle Fader, maybe he's scared of Gores. I doubt this deck plays Oppression, so he doesn't really have an out to those cards. So he goes for a second Stardust. So that already tells me he definitely main decks Starlight Road. There's no way this deck main decks two Stardust unless you're playing Starlight Road. So he's going to hit the token. And then here he's going to go for game. That's like the only reason he would make this play, I think. But I could be wrong. But yeah, his return. So the other card closest to the deck is the... Oh, but this is not game, though. So does he hit with the Goyo? And he does. Oh, but it wasn't even game. But you're still in a really good spot. Now, what do you make? Colossal, Thought Ruler. So you leave Francisco at 12. So you have Stardust, Colossal. So how does Francisco deal with this? He did Pot of Avarice his Monarchs back. So Caius is just game over. We know Los's back row is Starlight Road and something else that he has not used. So Los is at 600. Hmm. Los's hand is pretty bad, so maybe that's why he was like gonna go in and hope he doesn't have gores, but sometimes it happens. Sometimes I've been in that position before. I think I've seen a lot of people whenever their hand sucks, they're kind of like they just kind of just wing it. They're kind of like my hand is terrible, so I'm just gonna wing it. I've done it before myself. It's called getting on tilt. That's what people call it, and I've seen it happens to a lot of people. But it's okay because it's game one. All right, so yeah, I mean, Los has not flipped those cards the entire game, or yeah, he hasn't stopped anything. Did he have warriors in there? Maybe. Yeah, I don't think so. All right, so 400, 1,000. Does he have a Caius? Caius just ends it here. So draw face here, Regeki breaks because he knows he's got Raiko, and then MST, the Starlight Road we know he had, and then quick draw his game. Okay, so yeah, that was not much. There was not much Los could have done. What was he at? He was at 600. So maybe this is why Los. I think this is why Los flipped the return because he's at 1,200. So he knows that Francisco can just make a Druid Warrior and kill him. The only thing he has to stop the Druid Warrior is like the Regeki break. So I don't know. That was just a tough spot. All right, so now Francisco attacks into the tomato. And he sets one. Or thinks about setting, but he takes it back. Ooh, Dinah. 26. Yeah, I think Francisco's deck does not have many outs to Dinah. So Los, what does he have? Chains Compulse. Yeah, because you probably know you're probably going to lose your Dinah, so Caius, Chain Bottomless for Raiko. All right. Summon Swap. Kick down Swap? What? Are both Treeborns in there? Maybe it's in his hand? Why did he bounce a Swap? I don't understand. Does he have too many cards in hand? Maybe he's got too many cards. No? 1, 2, 3. It doesn't look like he's got 6 cards. I wonder why he didn't. All right. See, now you just let him crash. That sucks. Yeah. I don't know why he didn't bounce the Swap Frog. Now you're letting Los search. What's Los gonna search? Again, like I said, this is the first time Francisco's been on the channel, so I don't know how familiar he is with the format. And Los searches Crow, and see now Los knows that since you only sent one Treeborn, you might get punished by that Crow. Which I get why Los sided in Crow against this matchup because this is a Raiko Hamster Pot Avarice deck. Normally you wouldn't side Crow, but see now, I think he set the second Treeborn. Ooh, I was wrong. I thought he set the second Treeborn. That's why he didn't send it the first time. Did he side the Treeborn out? I don't know. So what do you do here? Raiko the Turtle, Mills Ryza, Hamster Ryza. Yeah, he got punished bad. Oh, there's the Avarice. Well, at least Los can't Crow the Avarice. That's the one good news. I just want to know why where's the second Treeborn? Maybe he had the Avarice, and I'm just trying to think why he didn't send the second Treeborn. Maybe he had the Avarice and wanted to put the Swap Frog back instead of the Treeborn. Wait, where's the Treeborn? He did it again. Okay, maybe he's only playing one Treeborn. It's possible. I thought about playing one Treeborn myself, but I never went through with it because it's too risky. I joked with my friend Ryan, if you're watching, he'll tell you, I joked with him about playing one. But I was like, nah, it's just too risky. What if your opponent main decks one random crow, or they, I don't know, DD Warrior Lady you or something? So anyway, he swaps the Raikou, sets one. Could have swapped the hamster too if you really wanted. But maybe, does he have Raikous left in his deck? I don't know. Alright, so they're both at 47. How will Los get out of this? Because Francisco's got a bunch of cards in hand. So that's not too bad. Gale probably has the hamster. So Los has 3 darks. Does he have dark armed? Now Los thinks about setting 2, but decides to set just 1. Man, come on. Where's Francisco's? Okay, so there's a Caius. Gets rid of Gale, so now Los is pretty low. So see, the fact that Los thought about setting the second back row, it kind of either way, either he's bluffing or he kind of gives away a little bit of information there by he probably doesn't have Gores but some people could bluff you and do that just to bluff you, but again, it's risky because you could get sharked. Some players might be like, oh no, you set that. And the judge is going to probably rule in their favor, most likely. I've seen so many sharks the past few tournaments I've been to. I myself got sharked, and I'm still furious about it. And then at Las Vegas, I saw, shout out to James Ark, they got sharked for a ridiculous way. And okay, so Low set Book of Life, so now you know for sure he doesn't have Gores if he set the Book of Life. All right, so he gets back Turtle. Los is at 13 to Francisco's 44. We know Los still has Dyna in his hand because he composed it back turns ago. So normal Diva. Three darks. Is the Dark Arm going to come in? He'll probably make Brio before he drops a Dark Arm. All right, here comes Brio. And Francisco, did he ask for priority? Ooh, Brain Control. 500 to 44. So Dark Arm Caius' game, right? So is that Synchro? So for what? Stardust? I'm thinking Stardust. Does he still have 3 darks? Yeah, he still has 3 darks. When he goes for Dark End. And chooses not to attack. Okay. Just in case Francisco's got the Gores or anything. Oh, return. Man, Lowe's draws return like it's his damn job. And then that's game. Yeah. Return is just too good, man. I think that people are talking about what are the most like unfair cards in Edison. Return is definitely one of them. That card is just that dark armed and like Brain Control. I don't hate it as much. I know Brain Control wins a lot of games, but I don't know. I hate Return more. I've lost so many games to Return. All right, here. So we got Goblin, Sangan attacking the 2 tokens. Lowe's pulling the rug to Caius. Okay. All right. So here, I think Francisco should have deprisoned the Goblin and not the Sangan. Here's why. Because Goblin is... Okay, he rises the Goblin, so... And then he prisons the Ryza. Goblin, I think, is better in Los's deck in the graveyard. Because it makes Zombie Master live. You can bring it back with Mizuki. You can... and Book of Life. So he should have prisoned the Goblin, not the Sangan. Okay, so here he Caiuses his face down, and he chains Bottomless, gets rid of Raikou. Los has 3 cards, or he has 2. He's going to search for his 3rd card. Francisco's got... Yeah, see, Los wouldn't have the Zombie Master here if he would have prisoned the Goblin Zombie instead. Yeah, I think Los is ahead in this game right now. All right, Tomato. That's not a bad torrential there. I don't know the rest of his hand. Sometimes it's best just to not set torrential, but I think people just see it and they set it right away. But maybe he has it. If sometimes it's better just to hold it. But again, I don't know what cards Francisco's drawing, so I can't really say why he set the torrential. But like, let's say he did have the hamster. He could have just set the hamster and then Los, maybe he runs into it with Tomato. I don't know. Okay, Swap Frog. There's already 1 Treeborn in there. Does he not play 2 Treeborn? Because we were looking for the second Treeborn game 1 and we never saw it, right? Or sorry, game 2 we were looking for the second Treeborn. Oof, here comes the Ultimate Offering. I've actually never... I think I've played against this deck like once, so I really haven't seen how explosive it is, so... Let's see, he's gonna make... What, Goyo or Gaia the Force of Earth? I know they play that in this deck. Yeah, so he goes for Gaia the Force of Earth. I always forget you need... I think you need Plague for Revive King, right? Oh, Dark Arm, everyone's favorite. So pops the Raikou, pops the Mirror Force. Oof. I wonder if see, it all comes down to, did he set the torrential? It's interesting. So let's see what Los does now. So 69.54. You got Ultimate Offering and 2 other cards. Attack for 18 and then 26 to the face. So Francisco got 25 to 54. So Stardust, Dark Arm, 2 back rows. Who knows what those back rows are? So he brings back Treeborn. Maybe Francisco only plays 1 Treeborn? Because he didn't send it game 2, but I don't know if did we see the 2 Treeborns game 1? Maybe he sided one out. It's possible. So let's see what Los does. Yeah, Los is checking for the second Treeborn. Maybe he's got Compulse. Oh, okay, yeah. So Compulse, 54.25. Brain Control, another broken card that people hate. We saw Brain Control, we saw Dark Armed, and Los has got the Solemn. So does he have anything else? He needs Battle Fader or like a Gores. No, not a Gores. He needs Battle Fader. And Francisco scoops. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that duel. Los moves on with undefeated record 1-0. And we'll be back soon for the next rounds. Bye, guys.